All right, this is my Diablo 3 Season 28 review. So, Season 28, the Altar of Rites season. Um, as someone who doesn't play seasons on a regular basis and is, just playing the game mostly for the fun of it these days, um, I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with Season 28 thus far. As you can see, I've chosen a Demon Hunter for the season. And of course, it's Gears of the Dreadlands or the God set uh, that they're giving away this season once you unlock chapters 1 through 4. So I went ahead and did that. And then got my Gears of Dreadlands. This is a pretty weak Gears of Dreadlands set. You know, this I'm wearing the 5 pieces plus a Ring of Royal Grandeur to get the 6-piece bonus. I've added the Guardian set to it once I unlock those through bounties. And then, of course, the usual Dawn and Ballista here, and then the belt. Now, if you look at these, the set is what the set is, right? You don't have to worry about too much there. You're going to get that 27,500% increased damage. But if you look at my Ballista, it's not the greatest Ballista. I've only got a 2.8 for the shield. So it would be nice if that was a 3%. But hey, listen, a 28% damage reduction, better than nothing. Dawn, I'm only at 62% on the cooldown. And with my overall cooldown reduction of 31% here, we're looking at a total of 93%. So my Vengeance is not up and running 100% of the time. And the belt here, I'm still missing a 15% damage increase. I have not been able to find a better belt like I do on my non-seasonal character, where everything is pretty much perfect on those specialty rolls. So this is a rather weak build so far, in my personal opinion. But it is doing a massive, massive amount of damage. As you can see, I'm already at Paragon 895. I'm shy of 900 by nothing, really. I have only been playing this character for 4 days, and I've only been playing maybe 3 hours at best a day, if I'm lucky. I have a wife and kids, and so family obligations and stuff. So about 3 hours a day, and I've already maxed out the character level and then pretty much maxed out Paragon level. Now, I know people are going to say, you haven't maxed out Paragon because there is no max. What I mean by maxing out Paragons is everything here under the offense, defense, and utility is maxed out. They cannot go any higher. After that, all you're getting is Paragon points to your core, where you get dexterity and vitality. You can either build them both up at the same time or just build up one over the other. That is what I mean by maxed out Paragon. Once you've hit 800, you're maxed out on the Paragons. You really can't add anything more except for dexterity and vitality, right? So you're always just adding them to your primary stats, and that's it. And I was able to do that in a very, very short time, thanks to the Altar of Rites. I did have help from a friend who did help power level me for maybe 10 levels at best, but we didn't get a whole lot of time to play together. And so I was at level 20 on my own, and then he power leveled me for 10 more levels to level 30. Then he had to get out of the game, and then I spent the remainder of that day plus the next day getting up to level 70. After that, Paragons kind of came a little, normal as far as they go, until I started unlocking these rights. And, the first right didn't really do a whole lot for me. The kill streak timer being doubled, and then the reward bonus being doubled was kind of nice because, if you have a kill streak that gets you a 2.5 times experience gain, well, now it's going to be a 5 times experience gain. So that was kind of nice because the experience boost during kill streaks allows you to Paragon pretty quick. But the more important one was this one here, the The pools of reflection last for the entire season and are not removed by death. So the minute you click on a pool of reflection, you get a 25% increase to your experience. And that is a permanent increase. Now, I do not know if clicking on multiple pools has any effect. I have not seen anything that says whether it's additive or not. Because obviously if you find two pools of reflection, right, each one's 25%, now you got a 50% increase. You click on a third one, that would be 75 total, right? I don't know if they're additive or if it's multiplicative in some way or what. I did not notice clicking on extra pools of reflection doing me any extra experience. But I can tell you just clicking that first one was more than enough, because my experience bar grows rather quickly, even at this high of a Paragon already. So it's kind of ridiculous. That's probably one of the best parts of Season 28 is that pools of reflection. It allows you to level up and then Paragon up very, very quickly. Again, maybe 3 hours a day over 4 days, 12 hours total, maybe a little bit more, and I'm already at Paragon 900 basically. That's probably the fastest I've ever leveled a character up ever playing this game. It's ridiculous. Some of these other rights that you get are kind of nice. These items have no level requirements, kind of nice. When I was still level 60, I was picking up 65s that I couldn't do anything with. The minute I unlocked this right, then bam, I was able to use those 65s, and using a level 65 item, when you're still low leveled is pretty sweet because it obviously gives you better armor, better damage, etc. So again, that added and allowed me to level up pretty quick as well. The next right I went after that was this plus 200 damage, right? That's just a plus 200 straight damage, but it's nice. It's a good boost to your overall damage. Then I went for the damage reduction here, 25% missile damage reduction. After that, I got my 25% movement speed, and then here I went for the increased damage against elites by 15%. Of course, once I unlocked all of these, then I got this guy here, right? Picking up the health globes grants me a shield for 5% of my maximum health for 7 seconds, and then it stacks up to 5 times. So to make this easy, let's say I have just a flat 1,000,000 health. For easy math, if you want a 1,000,000 health, 10% of that would be 100,000, right? And so 5% then means you're getting 50,000. So you're getting 50,000 damage reduction for having this shield up. And then this shield can stack 5 times. So 5 times 7 is 35, right? So you got 35 seconds that it'll last for picking up 5 health globes. You pick up 5 health globes in a row, you're going to get 7 seconds for each one of those. That's 35 seconds total where you're getting 50,000 damage reduction. So that's pretty sweet. I mean, it's not huge, but it's pretty sweet. It helps with your defense, right? After that, we have some minor stuff. This one's more for, I would say, the wizards here, because it boosts your elemental skill damage by 10%. So for me, that doesn't help me a whole lot. It boosts my cold from like 18% to 28%. But for wizards, this would be really great. You get a 10% boost, and then if you're using a Stone of Jordan, you're going to get the boost off the Stone of Jordan. So now, if the Stone of Jordan says it's going to give you a 25% or a 30% boost, here's another 10% on top of that. You're getting like, a 40% boost kind of thing. So that works great for the wizards. It's not bad for anybody else, but not one of the best things depending on the character you're playing. Here we get an increased damage against elites by 20%. This is pretty sweet. Elites start dying really, really quick. Here we get another melee reduction right? 25% for melee. So we got 25% for missile reductions. Now we got melee reduction, right? So our damage reduction is getting boosted huge. Here we get a 20% damage. So we already got a 202 damage, a plus 200 points to damage, but now we're getting a 20% damage increase. So that's pretty sweet. I have not unlocked this double Death's Breath drop yet. I did not unlock the critical hits grant resource yet. They weren't that important to me right away. And I did not get the double the amount of bounty caches yet. I took a different route because I wanted the damage reduction or increase here. And then over here, I wanted the progress orbs. Now, with this one unlocked, you don't have to worry about running around and picking up the purple orbs, right? Or the Nephilim yellow orbs. If they are within 60 yards of your character, you will automatically suck them in, which is pretty sweet. It allows you to focus more on killing and destroying stuff rather than going around and picking stuff up. Here, this gave me a 25% damage reduction from elites specifically. So now I'm doing an increased damage to elites, but I'm taking less damage from elites as well, right? So here I went to the gain passability. Passability in this regard means that you can no longer be held in place by wallers and jailers of any kind, those guys who shoot those little purple circles around you and keep you trapped. Pretty much you're untouchable. Your mobility is how do I want to say this? It's non-interrupted. You could just move anywhere at any time for any reason. The only thing I think you can't move through is mobs themselves still block you. So this mostly seems to work only against wallers and jailers and whatnot. But it's still nice, especially if you're a demon hunter and you're using strafe. You're constantly trying to move. So to have a wall get put in your way and get stuck, or to get stuck inside one of those little circles where you can't move, that blows. That's no longer a problem with this. Here we got immunity to crowd controlling effects. So any type of crowd controlling effects no longer affect you, right? So if somebody explodes an ice thing around you, that would normally freeze you in place or whatever, you're immune to it. It doesn't affect you. Basically, you're untouchable at this point when you have this one unlocked and this one unlocked. You're just moving everywhere and nobody can stop you. Here we get a 30% damage boost to our overall damage, which is pretty sweet. I've already unlocked that pets will pick up my death breaths, so I no longer have to worry about stopping to pick up anything other than rares, primals, of course, and then my blues and yellows that I'm just going to trash anyway so that I can get my veiled crystals and arcane dust. But that's going to go away too eventually. When we get, where is it? I think it's this one here. When we unlock this one here, which is the one I actually want to get next, pets will pick up and salvage common, magic, and rare items for you. So you don't have to worry about, eventually when you get down to this level of unlocking stuff, you don't have to worry about picking up anything. You're automatically getting your purple orbs, you're automatically getting your yellow orbs. So your Nephilim rifts and your greater rifts, you fly through them a lot faster. When you're doing Nephilim rifts or bounties or just going out any area just to kill stuff and get stuff, if you unlock this seal, well, now your pets are going to pick up everything and then they're going to salvage it for you. So you're going to build your reusable parts faster, your arcane dust faster, and your veiled crystals faster. That's pretty sweet, right? You don't have to worry about picking up crafting materials anymore outside of rares and, or not rares, but legendaries and primals, of course. So, because your pet's going to pick up everything for you. So that's going to be sweet. That's the next one I'm trying to go for. In conjunction with that, we've got this one over here is going to give us an increase to our dodge chance. This one over here will double the chance to find a legendary item when you're gambling at Kadala, so that'd be pretty sweet when I get to it. And then, of course, over here, elite packs will drop an additional progress orb. So that's nice, because if they normally drop 4, now they're going to drop 5, right? If they normally drop 3, then they'll drop 4. And of course, progress orbs just fills up your Nephilim bar faster. It fills up your greater rift bar faster. You can get through those rifts quicker. I've already unlocked this bottom potion here, Mother, which when I drink any health potion at all, I get a random runic circle that obviously is going to either give me a cooldown reduction, an increased resource cost reduction, or an increased damage. But it's a very small circle, so if you're a melee-based character, it's great. You can stand inside that circle easy enough and fight stuff. But if you're a mobility-based character, which in this case definitely for the demon hunter and or let's say the monk, depending on your setup with the monk, you're always kind of moving, right? If you're the demon hunter and you're doing the Gears of Dreadlands, you're constantly moving by strafing. If you're a monk who's doing the Tempest Rush, like a Justice setup or something, you're constantly moving. So those little circles kind of meaningless, depending on the build of your character and your play style. However, when we get to this potion, this one's pretty sweet, because it lowers the damage of the enemies by 25% for all the enemies that are within 25 yards. So if you can find a big enough mob and hit this potion, you're granted that 25% damage reduction for them, which is pretty sweet. Now, keep in mind, when you have these potions unlocked, you just drink your potion. This one's automatically cast, and so is this one. These both will get cast at the same time based on drinking your potion down here. And it doesn't matter what potion you have down here. It affects both of these at the exact same time. Eventually, you want to get all 3 potions, of course, because when you get the 3rd potion, so now not only do you get the runic circles, and do you decrease the damage of the enemies by 25%, but you also get the 3rd potion kicking in, so that you get a random shrine effect or a dimensional power pylon effect. So, you can get random lightning, right? Conduit. You can get the random speed. You can get the random power. You can get the random resource regenerator, plus your other minor shrines as well. Now, these are pretty sweet because these kick in when you drink your potion. But then, if you have your follower wearing, I forget the name of the gloves, but there's a set of gloves you can wear which keeps everything lasting longer, right? For the regular shrines, that's going to last 10 minutes now. So the minute you drink your potion, now if it's a random shrine effect, it's going to last 10 minutes. If you have your Nemesis bracers on and you get a random pylon, I don't know if it will cause enemies to show up or not, but since the gloves that you can wear make things last longer for the regular shrines, I'm going to guess this possibly will spawn champions. I don't know, but you definitely want that flavor of time on, because pylon effects will last twice as long. So you drink a potion, you get a random pylon effect that's going to last an extra long time based on your flavor of time, and quite possibly, maybe, will spawn an enemy champion, right? Gives you that many extra enemies to defeat to build up your progress bars faster. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see, and I haven't seen anybody talk about that other than they mostly talk about the fact that you get the power and then get to use it, but nobody's mentioned whether or not it also spawns enemies at the same time. So we'll have to wait and see when I unlock it. And then your final seal down here is whenever a primal item drops, you're going to get a second random primal item at the same time, which is nice. That'll help you build up your primals faster so that you can use them for other things. And hopefully, you'll get more primal items that you can wear, because as we know, you can craft a primal item now, but you can only wear one crafted primal item at a time. So hopefully you know, by the end of this season, I'll have primal everything to transfer over to non-season. So that'll be pretty sweet. There's a few of these that I have not unlocked, and it's because I just chose certain ones to unlock that I felt would benefit me better as I went through them. Which I really do think the way I went helped me a great deal because it allowed me to get to this 895 really, really fast. So right now, my next offering, as you can see, I pretty much have most of the materials with exception of like West March Holy Water here, not hard to get. But I need an ancient puzzle ring, and that is the difficult part, right? I've got puzzle rings. I have like 3 or 4 of them. None of them are ancient. I've tried upgrading them, Econize Cube, you know, reforging them. I can't seem to get my hands on an ancient puzzle ring. So that's where the trickiness comes into all of this. A lot of these, in order to unlock them, you have these special requirements that you have to meet. You have to get certain materials and stuff. And then when they get to specific items here, that's where it makes it hard. Like obviously, right, you just run a bunch of bounties and you're getting all this. You can run group bounties in a public game. That's probably the best way to do it. You run a public game. You know, 4 other people, or they got 4 people in there, yourself plus 3 others, and everybody just go choose an area and clear out the bounties, and then you can all meet up on that final 5th area to clear out the 5th bounties really, really quick. That's how I did it and built up the bounties really fast. The only thing that sucks is, again, I have to have this specific item. One of these, and I don't remember which one it was, I had to have a helmet from a set. It didn't matter what set the helmet was from, but it had to be a helmet from a 6-piece armor set. So, you know, you just hope for the best, run around, get that, and you'll unlock stuff. Another thing that I had to gain was I had to get the set tomes. I had to have 4 different set tomes for 4 different sets. Now, Gears of Dreadlands does not have a set tome. There are no set dungeons for Gears of Dreadlands. I don't know why they didn't do that, but they just didn't. So, you know, if you're playing a Demon Hunter, you know, and you find items for Natalia, don't crush them. Don't crush any set items you get, because you need to be wearing the full 6-piece set or at least 5 pieces in the Ring of Royal Grandeur to get the set tome from the, I forget the area, it's Leoric's Manor, right? So you go in there and you work your way all the way back up into the top left corner looking at your screen, and there's that little room where you can get the set dungeon tomes. But you need 4 of those, and you have to have 1 for each different set. So obviously if you get anything for Natalia, hold on to it. If you get the Marauder set, hold on to it. Even if you get duplicates, because you can always take the duplicates, go over to Kanai's Cube, and then convert them. It's very cheap as far as the cost goes. Convert them to the missing piece that you need. So we got Natalia, we got Marauder, there is the Unhallowed Essence, and then I forget what the other 4th set was that I used. But in either case, I just kept collecting all those parts, holding on to them. I did convert it to Kanai's Cube to make sure I had at least 5 of every piece. And then with a Ring of Royal Grandeur, I went and, you know, opened, I went straight to the thing. Once I got there, got my first set tome, I opened a portal, went back to town, swapped out the armors to the next set, took the portal back, got the next tome, opened a portal back to town, right? And it was really quick. I just waited till I had all 4 sets in order to get all 4 tome pages, and then came in here and unlocked one of the rights. So it was pretty sweet. I can't wait to get the rest of them unlocked. Overall, this character, I mean, it's ridiculous. I am already running Greater Rift 110, and I'm still less than 1,000 Paragon. I mean, I don't even consider this to be a powerful character, but, I mean, I'm able to run through these rifts really, really easy. You know, And I'm not even going to focus on the trash too much. I'm going to try to find me some elites in here. And then we'll just kill our elites. And then we'll move on. Boom. Got my power. Used a potion. Reduced damage. And then they all die. And I already picked up the orbs, so I'm not worried about the orbs because I pick them up automatically. So I'm just going to worry about killing and move on. And as you can see, my progress bar is moving fairly decent for being a weak character. Again, I've got a Demon Hunter in the non-season that is way more powerful than this. And 110s for that character are usually 4-minute runs, right? And we're probably looking at doing that with a character that's less than 1,000 Paragon. Just because of all those buffs that you get from the altar. This is purely based on the buffs from the altar that's doing this, that's allowing this. You know, I'll find better equipment and I'll get even more powerful. I honestly think I'll probably take this seasonal character way up into the thousands. There's that ring. I don't know which this one does. Cooldown or whatever. I don't know. But I can see me taking this character up into the thousands Paragon really fast, really easy. And then, of course, when the season does end, that's going to transition over. And then my non-seasonal character, who's sitting at right around 2,000, is going to jump up to like 3,000 or more. I've seen people just the other day. I was in a public game for the season to do bounties, and there was somebody who's like 4,000 Paragon already. It's ridiculous. The season hasn't been around that long yet. Little over a week? We're going on maybe 2 weeks here, and somebody's already at Paragon 4,000. I can't imagine that they're playing every single day for hours on end. They could be, for all I know. But that is ridiculous if they are. But still, 4,000 Paragon, 2 weeks into the season. Wow. You know, non-seasonal is going to go up. Look at that frickin' dude going down at 110. 12 minutes, 5 seconds. So overall, just shy of a 3-minute. That's ridiculous. And again, this is a weak build. I don't even have all that great of an armor setup going yet. But I've already leveled up my gems up over 100. You know, it's I gotta say, season 28 has been a lot of fun, simply because I get to watch the character just skyrocket to the top. And that's the kind of stuff I like about my hack and slash games. I like to play hack and slash because they're just fun. I can get in, I can hack and slash, I can get out, and still have progression along the way. And with season 28, I can get a lot of hack and slash fun in and a lot of progression in a very short period of time, and it makes it really, really fun to play. You know, I get bored with the same old daily grind, and so to have this way, yes, it's making your character a little OP, and I get that, and maybe in some cases makes the game too easy, but for me, that's the fun of it, right? I love Diablo 2 for that. I didn't play any of the online stuff with Diablo 2. I always just played single player. And if I did play multiplayer, it was on a local area network setup. So either my buddies will come over to my house and we'll all be on the same LAN that way, or they would connect into the VPN that I have set up, and then we would play that way and do multiplayers just for fun. But we also like to use hex editors, right? We would go in and edit our characters after beating the game, and then just be like, hey, what kind of fun can we have? You know, how difficult can we make the game? But at the same time, how easy can we make it to kill and destroy stuff? So, you know, we would make our our characters seriously overpowered. I had a paladin at one point where basically the auras that were emanating off him just killed everything. I didn't have to melee nothing. I would just walk around and everything around me died, and it was fun just to, you know, do that and go through and destroy stuff, just goofing around. Because otherwise the game got boring. A lot of people talk about end game. Well, to me, the end of the game is when you defeat the story mode, right? You beat Diablo. Diablo's dead. You've done it on every difficulty level. That's the end of the game. After that, this is all just goofing around and screwing around in the adventure mode, as they call it. So, I play games mostly for the the fun of it with the campaign story mode. I enjoy that part of it. After that's over, the rest is, okay, it's time for me to screw around, goof off, and just have fun. I don't care about leaderboards. I don't worry about competition-based setups. None of that thrills me for any reason whatsoever. I just want to go in and see how quickly I can kill everything just for the fun of it, right? And Season 28 is definitely giving me that joy. The fact that I've been able to, I just gained 3 Paragon levels with a simple Greater Rift at 110. That's crazy. And so it's been fun for me to just go in and demolish everything and watch the Paragons go up. Because now I can take all that transition over to the non-season character and then hopefully watch that character go through and just demolish stuff. So overall, Season 28, it's a great season. I can't compare it to too many of the other seasons because I never really played a whole lot of the other seasons. I did play Season 27 for a short, brief time, created a Barbarian just to get the Frenzy outfit, and then after I got it, I didn't play the character anymore. I waited for the season to end so that I could, I think that was Season 26. Maybe it was Season 26. But I waited for the season to end just to get the stuff transferred over to my non-season. But other than that, I didn't play the seasons all the way through. I play them just long enough to get what I want out of them, and then I let the tune sit until the season ends. So I think that's going to be a little different with this season. This season seems to be really, really fun. I'm going to try to play as much as I can on a daily basis and build this particular seasonal character up so that I can then transfer those, especially those Paragons, over to my non-seasonal. I think I'm probably going to hit 2,000 Paragon in no time at all on the seasonal character, which is matching what I already have on the non-season. And so then I'm just going to take it. We've got until June. We're only at the beginning of April. So a couple of months worth of playing, I should be up to 3,000 or 4,000 Paragon in seasonal, and then that should be able to transfer over to non-season and then boost my 2,000 Paragon there to, whatever, 3,000 hopefully, or better, which will then allow me to do higher, greater rifts. That's the other thing I'm hoping for here with all this extra power we're getting. I'm really hoping that I can go higher in the greater rifts so I can level up my primary gems, and then transition them over to the non-season characters for playing there and having fun with. And as you can say, as I said, look, this is a weak build. The only thing I've even augmented so far was the Dawn. And I have more, I forget what you call these silly things here, but more of these little petrified screams. I could augment more stuff, but I was really kind of hoping to find better stuff, primals, to augment, so I kind of want to save those. But this is a weak build, and yet I've progressed really, really far. So if you're going to play Season 28, I suggest, personally, playing a Demon Hunter. I think they're the most fun. But I could see somebody doing a Tal Rasha build on the Wizard and progressing really, really fast through it. I can see somebody doing a Monk and doing like a Justice Tempest Rush or a Wave of Light build, and going through and just destroying stuff really fast. pretty much any character. The barbarian, you could either do a frenzy build or you can do the avalanche, earthquake builds, and destroy stuff really fast with this season. Necromancer, I might even try a necromancer just to see if I can progress a necromancer faster in the non-season or in the season than in the non-season. But who knows? So far, it's been fun. For someone who doesn't normally play seasons because I find them to be boring, season 28 has definitely been fun. I have definitely been enjoying it thus far, and I hope anybody else who decides to play a season 28 character also ends up enjoying it as much as I have. So let me know what you think in the comments, and enjoy season 28.